Welcome to another episode of Healing the Child Within. Today's message is about disappointment, whether you're disappointed in yourself or you're disappointed in others. If this topic resonates with you, and I'm sure it must, or it would not have drawn you to watch this video, stay tuned. Be with me. Watch more. Let me know what you think. Okay, so what do you do when you're disappointed with someone else? I was talking to a client recently, and she had reached a humongous milestone. I mean, she was so happy and excited, and she shared it with someone and did not get the reaction from them that she had desired. And she was so disappointed. And we talked about that. And we remember, when you set expectations for someone else, you are pretty much setting yourself up for disappointment on your own, because other people may not react the way you want them to. And they're going to react based on their thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and emotions, right? Right. So for instance, if you share with someone that, you lost 10 pounds and you're really excited, but in their mind, they think, whoa, you have a really long way to go, and they're judging you, and they're like, well, keep going. And you were looking for that praise that you're so proud of yourself for losing 10 pounds, and they're not sharing in your joy. So disappointment can come up. What about disappointment in yourself? Perhaps you set a goal for that day, something that you wanted to do, something you wanted to finish, and the day is coming to a close and you didn't get it done, you didn't accomplish it, and you're so disappointed in yourself. Can you see that both of these, whether you're disappointed in someone else or disappointed in yourself, can you see where the energy is? Remember, your feelings are driving the bus of your life, right? Wherever you're going in life, your feelings are taking you there. So whether you're having positive experiences or negative experiences, it's based on your feelings. So let's get back to disappointment. When you are looking for someone else to lift you up, someone else to say, good job, you did a great job. This often happens in the workplace. Many employees feel underappreciated. And why would you feel underappreciated? Well, if you're the employee and you're feeling underappreciated, you might think, I work my tail off every day. No one appreciates this. I go above and beyond. And no one recognizes me. No one says, that's good. You did a good job. Thank you very much. But chances are, if you're in this energy, if in the employee situation, and and it doesn't just need to be an employee. This could be in your home environment. A lot of mothers talk to me about feeling this way too. They feel very underappreciated. Nobody says anything. Nobody mentions how much they appreciate what you're doing. But think about all the signs that you miss. There might be just like an offhanded, thank you, love ya, that kind of thing. But you can't take it in because you're feeling underappreciated. And in the workplace, when you're putting yourself out and you're going that extra mile, what is that energy that you're putting yourself in? Because chances are, if you're feeling underappreciated, what are you doing? Chances are you're doing more work. You're adding more work to your already overextended workload, because you think, oh, if I work harder, if I do more, if I take on more, then certainly people will notice that, I'm doing all of this work, and they'll stop and appreciate me. But it's usually just the opposite, because when you're taking the workload off of someone else and you're doing other people's work for them, meaning like, oh, I've got that, Jane, I've got that, Sue, yeah, just dump it on my desk, I've got it, oh, I've got it, honey, just leave it with me, I'll take care of it. You see, those people have learned to count on you. In fact, you've taught them to count on you, right? We teach people how we want to be treated. And this is why inner work is so important and so powerful, because oftentimes we don't even realize how or what we're teaching people to treat us. because we don't pay attention to our own emotions, feelings, and beliefs. So when you're taking on this extra workload and you're saying, I've got it, those people are just like, oh, great. Jane's got it. Jane, reliable Jane, she's always in there. She's always got our back. She's always taking care of us. Woo, that's great. Thanks, Jane. Appreciate it. I'm going to go play ball now. Thanks, Jane. Appreciate it. I'm going to go to the movies now. Well, Jane is feeling overworked and underappreciated. So she's disappointed. She's disappointed because people aren't recognizing the work that she's doing. And it's not just that. She's put herself in a position to wake up every day feeling very negative, feeling very underappreciated. So she's disappointed in others that she's not getting the appreciation she's looking for. But if you turn that around and you were doing the inner work on this, the question that you would want to ask yourself is, why am I feeling disappointed? Think about that for a minute. That's the big question. Why are you feeling disappointed? Why do you feel underappreciated? Why do you feel that the great, huge, wonderful, exciting news you just gave someone was met with crickets? Or they didn't totally understand the complete ramification of your joy, your happiness, your excitement. And then are you looking at that person and going, what is wrong with you? Aren't I an important person in your life? Why are you not appreciating what I'm telling you? Why are you not getting the full scope of what I'm sharing with you? And when this happens, you see what we're doing, we're projecting onto someone else, because in that moment, we are expecting someone else to give us what we are not giving ourselves. Got that? Okay, remember, this is what I talk about when I talk about we're always looking from the outside in to bring us joy, happiness, abundance, prosperity, and that's not how it works. Law of attraction says what you think about, you bring about. So what you think about, you're feeling about it, and what you're feeling, you're creating a vibration, and the vibration that you're putting out to the universe is what you're attracting back to you. And it all starts with you. You. So you can point, but you've got 4 fingers pointing back to you. So it's about you. And this is why inner work is so powerful, because once you start to understand what you're projecting onto others, why you're projecting it onto them, and how you can bring it back to you and take 100% responsibility, then you're like, oh my gosh, I've got the power to change this. I've got the power to make this different. Holy macaroni, this is great news. And it is great news, because when you realize that you are the creator of your life, because what you think about, you bring about. What does that mean? It means that whatever you're thinking about, whatever that vibration level is where you are, and you're thinking about it and you're putting all your attention, energy, and focus on it, you're actually creating in energy form what you want to bring into mass form. So mass form is something that you can see, feel, hear, smell, taste, touch, right? Right. Okay. So when that thing or that experience that you truly, truly want is not manifesting, you can't see it, smell it, taste it, touch it yet, what do you tell yourself? Oh, it's never going to happen. I don't know. I should just give up. People don't appreciate me. And you go back to that level of disappointment. And you get so disappointed in yourself and in others. So here's where the mind mapping, we know I'm a really big fond, I'm really fond of this exercise, mind mapping. So what is it that you're disappointed in? Maybe let's go back to Jane and this fictional Jane that I'm talking about, and say she shared news with someone that she had lost 10 pounds and she's over the moon excited and happy about it, but no one seems to be as excited as she is. So then she starts to feel her energy go down. Well, maybe it's not such a big deal. Or then she has this conversation with herself like, well, maybe I have so much to lose that 10 pounds isn't as noticeable to others as it is to me. Oh my gosh. Then she starts having that wicked conversation in her head, right? Judgmental conversation, vicious conversation with herself about how she looks worse than she thought she did. And all because she's having this conversation in her head about what she believes is happening, about what other people are thinking or how they are reacting or not reacting. You see, it's never about the other person. Never. It's always about ourself. S-E-L-F, capital S, self. How do you love you? When you really truly love you, you don't allow the opinions of others to mandate your belief in yourself, your love for yourself. You don't allow what others are thinking to flow over into your energy field. Now, this is where being conscious of your energy field is so powerful, because, and this is where it's so powerful for you to pay attention to what you're feeling at all times, because you might be feeling on top of the world, just like Jane was when she went up and told this person, you know, I lost 10 pounds. And then she was met with somebody who like, oh, that's nice, or, you know, just didn't share in her excitement. Now you see that person's energy is flowing into Jane's energy, right? We all have an energy force that goes about 13 feet outside of our body in all directions. And so it's only natural, right? When you come against other people, your energy is close proximity with their energy. You can feel what people are feeling. It's just like Maya Angelou said, people might forget what you say, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. Now, remember, what does that mean? Because we can't make someone do anything, but we definitely take on or feel or resonate with someone else's energy. You've been in that situation, right? Where you walk in and you know someone's in a bad mood. Maybe you walk into work one morning and you just know from the energy in the office that, uh-oh, the boss is in a bad mood, or, uh-oh, that deal we wanted didn't come through, or, you know, you can feel that. Likewise, you can feel the high energy when you walk in and something really wonderful happened and you're like, what? Tell me what I missed. What's going on? You feel it before it's verbalized to you most of the time. But most of us were not taught to pay attention to this energy, these feelings. And when you do yourself the favor of paying attention to that energy, what am I feeling? What am I feeling and why? So when you are feeling disappointed, either in yourself or in someone else, it always goes back to a belief, right? When you ask yourself, let's take Jane again for that example and say, Jane would say to herself, oh man, I'm so disappointed that Sally didn't, you know, get really excited for me about losing that 10 pounds. What the heck, man? She's my best friend. What's wrong with her? Well, this is not a time for judgment. This is not a time to try to figure out what's wrong with Sally, because Sally's karmic journey is Sally's karmic journey. This is about you. What were you expecting from Sally? So whatever you were expecting from Sally, it's because you have a belief around it. Well, I believe she should be my best friend and say something wonderful and share my joy and my happiness and jump up and down with me. You know, what is your belief around that? And then think about where your inner child learned that belief. And remember, that belief is strongly associated with a feeling of a memory or an experience that you had as your child self, and you grabbed onto that because the feelings and emotions were so strong that you attached something to that. Maybe when you were little, a child, you would share something with your parents or your siblings, and they'd be like, oh, that's cool, and you're like, what? Maybe you got into that habit of not being praised or being ignored. And so you created this belief that most people ignore you or most people don't see you. So then you have this best friend and you go out of your way to maintain this best friend relationship because you always want someone in your corner who's going to pick you up, praise you, say wonderful things about you. You see, you're relying on someone else to give you what you haven't yet learned to give yourself. Got that? So when you start from love, remember, every choice comes from love or fear. Every choice is based on a fear-based emotion or a love-based emotion. And as we know, fear-based emotions are not real. They just are not real. But that's the way that we experience contrast. So in the Sally Jane situation, let's say that Jane has a belief that I have great news. I have great news. And my best friend should be there for me. My best friend should be that person who says, I am so proud of you. You did a great job. You've worked really hard. But you know what? If you really, truly believe that with all your heart, it wouldn't matter what Sally says to you. It wouldn't. Because you would be in that position to say, oh, she must not be having a good day today. I'll send her love and light. Now, think about that. I will send her love and light. I will send her the energy of love and light. That doesn't mean that you have to stop expecting the energy that you were expecting, the feelings, the vibrations, and emotions, and give to Sally and see what her problem is and what's wrong with her and what she's struggling with, and make it all about her and take it away from you. See, every relationship deserves to have reciprocity. But the key is learning how the reciprocity works between you and another person in your relationship. Do you look to another person to always lift you up, to always be there for you, to always take care of you, to always guide you? If so, you are going to walk into disappointment, because everyone has their down days, right? Everyone has their negative moments. Everyone has those times in their life when they're just not feeling like engaging in life. And if you've connected with it, whether it's your best friend or someone on the street or the person at the grocery store, and they're having that day where they're just tuned out and you're expecting something from them, now you've left a big hole in your expectations. Isn't it only natural that you're going to feel disappointed? Now let's look at the disappointment in self, in yourself. What happens when you are so disappointed in yourself? Going with the same scenario, let's say you get on the scale and you're like, I only lost 10 pounds. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. I really thought it was going to be more than that. I've talked to people who go to certain weight loss places and they get on the scale every week and they're like, oh, is that it? Only 1 pound? And they completely forget to remind themselves of the daily practice that they've put into place day in and day out to make these healthy choices in their life. It doesn't matter what the scale says. What matters is your energy, because the outside is going to reflect what you're feeling on the inside. So if you're feeling unhealthy, unkempt, lack of any kind, lack of resources, lack of finances, lack of love relationships, if you're feeling that on the outside, you're going to reflect it. If you're feeling that on the inside, you're going to reflect it on the outside. Are you following me? Do you see how powerful you are? Instead of looking for someone else to lift you up, pick you up, make sure that they're telling you that you're wonderful, how can you do that for yourself? Because whenever disappointment is coming into your awareness, like I am so disappointed about X, Y, or Z, you might share some news that you were like, oh my gosh, I am on top of the world, just partying like purple in my head because this happened. I'm so excited. And you share it with someone and you're met with less than the vibrational response that you were expecting. I mean, you wanted them to match your exuberance. You wanted them to come back with, oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's wonderful. Good job. But think about this. If you're not believing it about yourself and someone else is telling you, good job, great, awesome, but you're not believing it yourself, you're not going to be able to take it in anyway. You're not going to be able to take in and hold into your heart that very thing that they're telling you, the very acclamations, the excitement, the happiness, the joy, the congratulations that they're sharing with you. You'd be like, yeah. Have you ever had someone tell you that you did do a really good job, but you just can't take it in? You're like, oh, that's no big deal. That's just something I've been doing forever and ever and ever. I talk to many women who are starting out or have been in their entrepreneurial business for any length of time, and they're amazing. They're freaking amazing, but they can't see it in themselves. They haven't yet found a way to match that passion for what they have with that belief about why they're so passionate, because they have it innately. It's in them. You've got it. You've got this. Walk tall. You've got this. And when you have that gap between what your passion is and what you're being pulled to, like, I really like this. I really love this. I really feel like I could make a business from this. I really feel like I could create a stream of income from this. But then people are telling you, this is great. This is wonderful. And this is usually where people don't charge what they're worth. Or to put it a better way, they do charge what they think they're worth. Because if they think that they're not worth very much because it's something that comes so easily to them, chances are they're not going to charge very much, because it's like, oh, don't worry, that's just something that I do. I can do that easy. 5 minutes, I'm done. You see, but there are millions and millions of people who can't do that, and they're relying on you. So why would you ever set yourself up for disappointment and undervalue yourself? Because whatever message you believe, whatever your belief is, that's what you're teaching others. And that is how they're going to treat you in kind. So when disappointment comes up for you, do you see where it all starts internally? Now go back to the mind mapping. You can either use a certain situation. It could be like the Sally and Jane situation, and you could put that in a circle and go, told Sally I lost 10 pounds and was met with crickets. And then, you know, make lines from that circle, right? You put that in there, you put a circle, you put lines in there, and then you put more circles at the end of every line. And then in every circle, write what you're feeling, all those feelings. What are you feeling? Disappointment, ignored, whatever it is. And then ask yourself, what is the belief that I have around all of these feelings? Why am I feeling this way? Where have I given my power away to Sally, to another person that has put me in this situation? Why do I believe this? Why do I believe this is true? And am I ready to let go of this? Remember, there are always 3 questions you can ask yourself. What feeling, belief, and emotion will I let go of right now? What feeling, belief, and emotion can I let go of right now? And what feeling, belief, and emotion do I need to hold on to for just a little bit longer? Because sometimes the 3rd option is what we want to hold on to, because changing something, making a change, can be fearful. And it's fearful because we've not been in that territory yet. That's what I like to call the known zone. It's that part of your mind. It's like, I know this. I know this based on everything I've experienced. I know this is the way this is. And you know this until you learn differently, or someone teaches you something differently. And then after that, you can react or choose differently. So you don't know what you don't know, and you're going to choose based on what you do know. Now, you can look that up, known zone, but it's a Nancy word. You know, I've been using that word for years and years and years, but it makes sense to me, you know, because we always make choices from our known zone. So what is it about your known zone that you would like to change? You know, and if you want to make a change, but you're holding fast to, I just don't see a way that it could be any different than this. Experience has taught me that there's no way it could turn out any differently than this. That's what you know. That's what you believe. That's what you need to hold on to. So until something else comes into your awareness or understanding, and this could be in the form of a teacher of some kind. It could be a person, it could be a book, it could be a song, it could be something you find on social media, a sign that you see when you're driving down the freeway. Something will come into your awareness to help you go, oh. And then you expand your mind just a little bit. You expand your known zone just a little bit. And remember, every time you expand, that's a little bit more knowledge. That's a little bit more tools for your toolbox. Like, okay, I didn't know this before. I wasn't aware of this before. But now that I am, ooh, here's the big thing. This is the can or the will, right? Because now you have a choice. Am I willing to make this change now that I know this is something, now that I know different, now that I've expanded my understanding and my knowledge? Because the choice is yours, right? Life is all about choices. Y'all know that's my favorite saying, right? Life is all about choices. You can choose to stay where you are. You can choose to stay in the disappointment. You can choose to allow the disappointment of others to wash over you. And when that happens, that's where you doubt you. That's where you are not loving you. If you want help with this, I encourage you to visit my website at masteringyourbeliefs.com. You can get your free download, turning your negatives into positives. Take a look around. What calls to you? Because you have the power. You have the power to step out of this disappointment, whether you're disappointed in yourself or whether it's a disappointment that you've experienced based on something you had an expectation for another person and they didn't live up to what you were hoping they would live up to. Remember, everyone is on their own journey. Everyone is dealing with something. Everyone is going through something. Everyone is having highs and lows in their life. And unless you can be exactly on the same vibration with another person at all times, well, you wouldn't really want to do that, would you? Because if you're both feeling low at the same time, do you really want that double whammy of negativity? No. When you're feeling low, you can put yourself in a position to be around someone who's vibrating on a higher level, or you can choose to stay where you are. But when it comes to disappointment, you have the power to change that, whether it's disappointment that you have in others or disappointment in yourself. Now, here's a big question. If it's disappointment that you have in others, why are you judging that other person? Ooh, big question, right? Because we tend to do that. When you are disappointed in another person, you're judging that person. You can't possibly know what's going on in their mind. You can't possibly know what they were thinking, feeling, understanding at that time. Maybe you gave clear direction and they clearly did not follow the direction and you're so disappointed. But maybe their mind was elsewhere. Maybe they are concerned about something. Maybe something's going on. And remember, it's not your responsibility to get to the bottom of it. It's always, always our responsibility to be kind to ourselves, to love ourselves, and to practice that kindness and love towards others. If you have any questions, please connect with me at masteringyourbeliefs.com. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.